Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Syracuse Unpeeled. I'm Megan Reynolds.
And I'm Onwualu, and tonight we'll be breaking down Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande's breakup.
And the big losses in college football this week.
Then we'll be taking a look at Gamma Phi Beta's recent philanthropy event, GPhi Joe.
And finally, we'll be coming to you with the weirdest news of the week.
So, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they are expecting their first child. After days of speculation, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex finally confirmed the pregnancy after their 16-day tour of Australia, Fiji, Tonga, and New Zealand.
The newlyweds, whose May wedding garnered more than 50 million viewers worldwide, are expecting their baby in spring of 2019. The couple informed the Queen and other royal family members in person on Friday following the wedding of Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank.
So, do you think she should, have her journey through pregnancy be public? Because I know she's been pregnant for a little while now. They just went public about it now, so.
I mean, she's an actress, so she's used to having a lot of things in her life publicized. So, if it's her choice, she can, but I don't think she has an obligation to, because pregnancy is one of those times that it's supposed to be about you and your family. So, I mean, maybe this is now she's ready to come out with it since it's 3 months later.
But do you think it's like, I mean, I'm not a part of the royal family. I don't know British royalty. I don't know if that's something that typically happens or not. Like, do you typically follow around a princess or a duchess, through her pregnancy?
I don't think so. I feel like Kate Middleton was pretty private about her pregnancy. So maybe, Meghan Markle, she's an American, so already a bunch of traditions have been broken. It seems like there's a lot of traditions that the royal family are just kind of, letting go of these days. But we'll see.
It's 2018. So
yeah, exactly. It's 2018. We'll see. Speaking of 2018 big news, Lady Gaga is back in the headlines after calling her partner, Christian Carino, her fiancé at Elle's annual Women in Hollywood celebration on Monday. The Grammy Award-winning artist was being honored for her many accomplishments in entertainment when she thanked Carino for taking care of her every day.
It's been a successful month for Gaga with her role in the film A Star is Born. The film has generated Oscar buzz, and so has the soundtrack, which has given her a 5th career Billboard chart topper. Now with an engagement and potential Oscar nomination on the way, fans are left wondering what Gaga's next move will be.
So, Lady Gaga, let's start off with the ring, because the ring's my favorite part of engagement. That ring is worth $400,000.
Super expensive ring.
When you think about that, that's going through Syracuse for 8 years.
Yeah. You can get 2 kids through Syracuse with that money, which is absurd. And speaks more about both. But
the couple's been very happy. I know there's a lot of speculation for over a year that they were engaged, but she just actually confirmed it, which was pretty interesting to me, because I'm wondering if they were they not?
I mean, I feel like they probably were, and they were kind of going between should we make it public, or how sure are we are? I think at this point it's like they're 100% sure, they're gonna do it. They've been dating for that long, and they're finally ready to bring it public.
I'm very happy for them, and Lady Gaga is such an awesome human, so hopefully they're one of the couples that makes it through all of the stuff in
Props
Hollywood.
to them. Speaking of couples, the whirlwind romance of Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson has ended just as quickly as it started. The couple confirmed their engagement in early June after just weeks of dating.
The pair were at the center of attention, constantly posting pictures of one another on social media. The couple also decided to move in together immediately after their engagement. Sources say that the couple's individual issues, along with the fast pace of their relationship, contributed to their decision to call off the engagement. So, it's no secret that Ariana Grande and Mac Miller were dating for, 2 years, I think? So that, a lot of people believe that had something to do with their breakup, and honestly, I wouldn't blame
I definitely think so, because she said even after he died, they were best friends, and she helped him through a lot in life. And
2 years is a long time to spend with somebody.
To see someone that important to you pass away, it has to be tough on that. And Pete Davidson, he's a comedian, not saying that he can't be empathetic or anything, but that was probably hard on his part. I'm trying to help you out with this, but then we're also getting engaged.
Yeah, and especially because she was getting blamed for Miller's death, which has to take its toll on her. But, there was also a lot of signs that the couple was going to split, not only because they were engaged so quickly, but there was just a lot of turmoil in that relationship, and there was such a whirlwind, which is great, but it just clearly was not going to work for them.
It seems like now, looking back on it, it's like a typical Hollywood romance. They met somewhere. I've heard
Yeah.
people said that, Ariana Grande and like Pete Davidson's humor was just like real. They were just they clicked like as soon as they met.
It was an instant connection, and I think they took it too fast. But there was also on SNL this past weekend, I believe it was, Davidson said, quote, "I switched her birth control with Tic Tacs," and went on to say, "I just want to make sure she can't go anymore." Can we just talk about that for a second? Because that's ridiculous to me. Like, clearly there was turmoil there, but I think that went a little bit far.
Yeah, I wish I got to hear the conversation Ariana and Pete had about that, because, just people on the internet in general gave him a lot of flack for that.
I'm sure. What does that mean? Because a woman gets pregnant, you're now property of a man?
Yeah, no, it was definitely like, I know Pete Davidson, his comedy is kind of like out there, but even then, like on SNL, it was just kind of like weird. And I watched that episode, and me and my friends were like, "What are you saying?"
I think that's also a weird thing to say about your fiance.
Exactly.
Why are you thinking about her going anywhere? But
yeah, we'll hear more about this as time goes on, but as for now, we know that their engagement is no longer so. Yeah, so moving on, and
up next,
Dove's journey.
Up next, we'll be breaking down the Academy's latest changes to the Oscar season and Dove's journey to become cruelty-free. So stick around, Unpeelers.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Welcome back. After 30 years of testing products using methods that do not harm animals, Dove has finally been declared cruelty-free by PETA. The beauty brand has enacted a policy prohibiting any animal testing, and their products packaging will include PETA's cruelty-free logo starting in January. Our beauty reporter, Olivia Tomino, is here to tell us more. So, Olivia, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, what exactly does it mean for a company to be cruelty-free?
So in order for a company to be cruelty-free, they have to not test any of their products, formulas, or any of their ingredients on animals in any way. A lot of brands claim that they're cruelty-free, but you really can't be sure unless they do have that logo from PETA on their packaging.
Yeah, so that sounds like a big task to take on. How did Dove successfully make this move?
Well, Dove has not been testing on animals for 30 years, as you said, so they've really been used to this for a while, and the thing that really pushed them over the edge was actually instating like a policy that said that prohibits animal testing for any of their products anywhere in the world, and that's kind of what set them over the edge. And their parent company, Unilever, also released a statement this week saying that they're supporting a ban of animal testing globally. So that was kind of another big move this week that happened in their favor.
So what can we expect in the future now that Dove's officially cruelty-free and their parent company is in support of it?
Well, with Dove, it's likely there's not going to be many changes as they're used to this. They've been doing this for a while. The only change will be the logo showing up on their packaging in January. But with Unilever, this is a really big deal because that brand actually owns over 1,000 companies. They own Tresemme, they own Axe, all these major brands. So we're going to be seeing a lot more cruelty-free products on the market, which is a really big deal. And we're also going to be seeing some smaller companies hop on the bandwagon and try to get cruelty-free with them because such a big brand is making that move.
Yeah, so how will Unilever, go to take that leap to being completely cruelty-free?
Well, one thing they're saying they're doing is investing a lot of money into researching. So they're trying to find other methods. There's a couple on the market, but to really make this global, they're going to need a lot more methods that are alternative to animal testing. And they're also talking with officials within the China Food and Drug Administration, because that's the one country that still forces you to have animal testing if you want to sell in that country. That's a big marketplace for a lot of people.
All right, so we'll be looking forward to Dove products now with their cruelty-free, big supporter of that. So moving on, the Motion Picture Academy is putting a new spin on award season. A representative from the Academy announced that there will be more changes coming in 2020, including a new process for voting for the foreign language film. This comes just months after a controversial announcement that the best popular film category the best popular film category will be gone. Joining us now is our award show reporter, Megan Fitzpatrick. Tell us more.
They've just made a ton of announcements about the changes in the Best Foreign Language Film Award. So originally, with the voting process, what would happen was the Academy would just assign a group of people to see these movies, and then another group to see these movies. But now they're allowing the voters to go pick and choose which movies they get to see. So they're screening the movies in the theater, and then throughout the next couple months, the people who are voting can go and pick and choose. Another change that they made to the voting process is that they reduced the amount of films that you are required to see in order to vote. It went from 18 to about 12. Okay. So they did this in hopes that the awards, voting for this specific category would be a lot easier, a lot more just voter friendlier, less. More people could do it and participate in that.
Yeah. So what changes did the Academy make regarding who can vote for the Best Foreign Language Film Award?
They didn't make many changes to who could vote for it, but notably, a lot of new changes came for the show in 2020. So in 2020, like you mentioned earlier, they're adding the most popular film category. So now superhero movies and stuff can be nominated for an Oscar, which that really wasn't seen much before. The show's trying to keep a lot of their prestige while still making it relatable to a lot of people who may not watch all the fine, awards. Another big change that they're making in 2020 is that they are shortening the show. So instead of having the show be 4 hours long, 4-hour long
that's a hefty show.
Exactly. They're trying to reduce it down to 3 hours, they're doing that by having awards be presented over commercial breaks and things like that.
It'll really make things easier.
Yeah, for sure.
So are there any other notable changes that the show's making?
One other change that is pretty notable, I guess, is that the show is going to be done earlier in the year. In 2020, it's going to be done in the beginning of February instead of towards the end, like it is right now. Yes.
All right, perfect. So after the break, we'll be looking into the biggest college football upsets last weekend.
And later, our campus events reporter Justin Pora gives us an inside look at GPhi Joe.
So don't go anywhere, Unpeelers.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This past weekend, was a wild one for college football. Team Chaos took wins from 8 of the top 25 teams this weekend, meaning that there were a lot of upsets. Saturday's results leave 8 teams still undefeated as the race towards the college football playoffs tightens. Joining us now to discuss what happened is our sports reporter, Chris Sachi.
Well, I mean, really, if we're going to discuss what happened, a lot happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
One of the craziest football weekends in college football history. 4 top 10 teams lost, including number 2 Georgia, who played in the national college football game last season. And along with Georgia, we got West Virginia University losing to unranked Ohio State, and number 17 Oregon defeating number 7 Washington. And of course, look at Michigan State getting back into the top 25 after a takedown of Penn State 21-17.
So if you can choose one of these upsets, which one do you think was the biggest upset?
I teased it a little bit, but I think Georgia, I mean, they're a team, of course.
Easily.
Absolutely. I mean, this really wasn't too much of a question. They played the national championship game last year, like I said, but they really just didn't show much against LSU. 36-16 was that final score, so it was a 20-point blowout. And really, if you look at the other side of this, LSU's right now can really be looked at as a contender for the college football playoff.
Yeah, I believe they got moved up to number 5, if I'm not wrong. But with that, does this change the college football playoff field at all?
Absolutely. I mean, Penn State, they lost. See ya. They're
Yeah,
out.
yep.
Georgia, see ya. They're out as well. So now it really kind of changes it up. Michigan, who coming into the season with Jim Harbaugh, there's some disappointments they've had along the way. But right now, they're at number 5 already. So they're making a climb in the Big Ten. Maybe they can be considered a good college football team and really have aspirations to win this whole thing.
Yeah, easily. So is this one of the craziest college football weekends, like, in history? As you said before, obviously it is. But, like, where would you rank it on your...
In my top,
Yeah.
I would say maybe not the craziest, but it's certainly up there. I mean, we have had a lot of great seasons so far and great weeks and seasons. In 1990, Week 11, 4 of the top 5 teams lost.
Sheesh.
In 2011, Week 12, 3 of the top 5 teams lost. And in 2008, we had number 4 Florida and number 1 USC both lose to unranked teams. So if we're talking about the sheer volume of upsets, I think this week certainly takes the cake. But in terms of the amount and the magnitude of upsets, this one maybe isn't the top. But it's certainly, I'd say, always, it's up there. It's a contender.
Yeah.
Well,
Easily,
up next,
easily.
Central New York teen Anella Bolster is closing in on her dream of being an American Ninja Warrior. Bolster was selected Friday as one of the 192 kids slated to compete in the upcoming series, American Ninja Warrior Junior. At only 13 years old, Bolster will be tasked with completing various difficult obstacle courses in her quest to become the show's last standing Ninja Warrior. Here to tell us more is our city reporter, Joyce Kim. Joyce, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so what sports does she play? Let's start with that.
Okay, so Anella she's done gymnastics since she was in the 3rd grade, but apart from that, she's also on her middle school track team, and she also plays volleyball, so super athletic.
Yeah, super athletic.
I mean, you have to be athletic to get on
You
the show, but
gotta.
how exactly did she get her spot on the show?
So to get on the show, you have to apply, first of all, and then you're going to compete with 100,000 kids from all across the country, and after competing all those kids, she got chosen as one of the 192, which was how she got her spot on the show.
Yeah, so I love the show, but for those who don't know what it is, what exactly is the show about?
So basically, it's just like American Ninja Warrior, where it's a timed obstacle course, but it's not like any other obstacle course. It's super crazy in that you have to walk on beams, you have to do all these crazy challenges that's even difficult for adults. So I'm really interested to see how she's going to perform being so young. She's only 13 years old, and yeah.
So when does the show premiere? Because I know this is the spin-off of the classic American Ninja Warrior. So when can we expect to see this?
So it premiered on October 13th, and you could catch the show on Universal Kids, and her episode didn't come out yet, so you could always keep up with the show,
keep watching the show,
to see our local Marcellus teen.
I used to love that show when I was younger, when it was actually in Asia and all that stuff. It's a great show. It's fun to see, oh, I swear I could go do these things, but honestly, she's probably way more athletic.
And the coolest part was her mom was saying when she found out she was on the show, she was just like, oh, okay, cool. And she keeps up with all her studies, because she's only in 8th grade. So she keeps up with her studies, and she has to do the warrior training that's in Rochester.
Oh, wow.
And that's a 3-hour road trip, to and from. And she just keeps up with that, along with doing a mini obstacle course kind of training practice with her family in her basement. So
that's awesome.
Dedicated.
Well, after the break, I'll be sitting down with campus events reporter Justin Poor to get this inside scoop on GPhi Joe.
So keep it here on Peelers.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where the cats go on vacation? New York.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
This weekend, our campus events reporter Justin Pora got an exclusive look at Gamma Phi Beta's philanthropy, GPhi Joe. So let's take a look.
Gamma Phi Beta sorority hosts its annual philanthropy, GPhi Joe.
Yeah, so we've been doing GPhi Joe for a couple of years now, which is a lot of fun. This is my second year helping with it, and it's just like the best philanthropy, I think, but I'm biased.
The girls invite other Greek life organizations and club sports teams to compete in different obstacle courses, relay races, and other events for a shot to win first prize. They also sell drinks and other cool treats to raise money for Girls on the Run.
So it's our national philanthropy. Gamma Phi Beta's mission is building strong girls, so internationals believe that Girls on the Run encompasses that mission too.
GPhi Joe was such a blast that I decided to get in on some of the fun myself. It wasn't the most ideal conditions for an outdoor event, but it seemed like most of the competitors didn't mind.
The day, rain or shine, it's still gonna be fun, and like all the teams just got down and dirty and muddy and stuff, and everyone seemed to have a great time.
However, there was still some people salty about the conditions.
It was kind of bad weather out, so I wasn't a big fan of trying hard. If it was much nicer out, I would definitely try much harder.
It was another terrific GPhi Joe event this fall, and everyone is looking forward to it next year. Justin Pora, CitrusTV.
Well, that looked like it was a lot of fun. So how was it? Did you enjoy it?
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. There were, like I said, just a bunch of different obstacle courses.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone really got into it, except, of course, for Mackenzie up there. But no,
Yes.
everyone really kind of bought into it, and it's, one day every single year in the fall. It was a lot of fun. It was good to be a part of it.
Yeah, so I know we saw in the video they said their charity was called Girls on the Run. So what exactly is that charity?
So Girls on the Run, it's GPhi, Gamma Phi Beta's national philanthropy, and it teaches girls skills through dynamic, interactive lessons in running. It kind of wants girls to unleash their confidence, and it helps them prepare for a celebratory 5K mentally and physically. So basically, it embodies what this GPhi Joe event was, because they want them to get to that physical prowess, gain some confidence, and that's what everyone was doing this afternoon.
So what were some of those competitions that were at the event? Can you give us a little inside scoop?
You saw a little bit of it in the package right there. There was an obstacle course that involved the tire run and the ladder run. Then there were multiple different relay races, like there was the piggyback rides, there were 3-legged races, there was also wheelbarrow races. That's what I was able to get involved in.
That looks like a lot of fun.
And then, for college kids, they love playing pong. They played some sponge pong. There was some crunches and push-ups. Just 4 different events, and they all came together, and they were able to get a winner from a sorority and a fraternity.
Yeah, so coming up, Sean and I will be giving you the latest in the weirdest news of the week, so you won't want to miss it.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Boom.
It is now time for our designated Weir's News segment.
Here on Unpeeled, we like to take the time to bring you the most bizarre stories of the week. So let's get right into it.
A black bear cub from Maryland named Buckethead went viral after he got, a snack bucket stuck on his head. It took wildlife rescue rangers 3 days to track down the bear cub, and they had to sedate him in order to remove the plastic bucket from his head. After freeing the cub, the rangers reunited Buckethead with the rest of his family.
That's such like a weird...
This is the Weird News segment, Sean.
No, I mean, you're right, but like that's not like something I'd expect in Maryland. That's like a Canada thing or an Alaska thing or a Florida thing because everything happens in Florida.
I'm just glad the bear wasn't hurt.
Yeah, the bear wasn't hurt, and
he
got to snag.
He got to snag, but you know he couldn't see anything. I'm shocked he didn't like.
I could relate with that. I feel like that'd be
anything.
a good way to trap me. Just throw a bucket of snacks out there, and now I'm stuck forever. But
oh my god,
I'm a simple man. If you haven't figured that out.
I mean, I'm just glad the bear was. It was kind of cute. Like it was
Yeah,
weird,
it's
but
cute.
it's kind of cute. It's a little bear cub, like sweet, innocent little bear cub.
It's a
I don't know.
nice little tribute to cuteness. The Wheelie King is back at it again. Kurt Osborne, a 49-year-old from Santa Monica, hopes to travel across the country by bike in just 45 days. While this sounds impressive enough on its own, Osborne is taking it to a whole new level by making the 2,900-mile trek while popping a wheelie. On top of achieving a Guinness World Record, he also hopes to show young people that being active and physically fit is fun. So,
I think
there's that.
Being physically active is fun, but I don't think that's fun. That just sounds dangerous and painful.
It
I'm sorry.
also sounds like unrealistic. Like I don't like in.
That's a lot of muscle you need. I mean, we looked at pictures of him before the
Yeah,
show,
but
and he
like,
looked very fit for his age.
45 days? That's.
I think it was when you did the math. It was about 70 miles a day. So that's
a lot. That's a lot of.
I don't even walk 5 miles in a day.
Yeah,
so
that
kind of makes me feel
that's
bad about
egregious.
myself.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna like follow up with this, but like it's interesting to see because I don't think that's very possible. And if he does it, I mean,
I'm really
props
curious
to
to
him.
see if he gets that Guinness World Record.
Yeah, I'll be glad to eat my words. Like, I mean, I nothing against it, but like, I don't know. It's kind of sad seeing weird news from my own neighborhood. Santa Monica's in LA, the Valley, so other things I have to deal with. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Sean Onwualu.
And I'm Meagan Reynolds. And tune in next week for full coverage of homecoming weekend.
You won't want to miss it. Have a great night, Syracuse.